reaction. What? Oh my God, we're making a video? This episode is sponsored by Babbel, which I'm using to learn Italian. I'm planning on going to Italy in May as a reward to myself for finishing my book. And I want to be able to interact with people in Italian while I travel. Babbel allows you to set your goal. I want to travel, be independent, and get there within the next couple of months. It lets you decide how long you want to learn and encourages you to pair your learning with another habit. I decided to learn at breakfast.
Mercoledì.
Mercoledì.
I've actually been using Babbel on and off for a few months now. Like most apps I use, I haven't used it entirely consistently, but I keep coming back to it because I love how quickly I'm able to learn and how well the app reinforces what I've already learned. There are a lot of ways to do it. Courses, review sessions with different ways to review, even live classes over Zoom. That's a premium feature, but you're able to try 2 free classes with your subscription. I took my first one yesterday and I was surprised I was able to keep up. And there were only a few of us in the class, so we got a lot of practice and support.
Numero 2, Jessica.
Sì, dove si trova la mia camera?
Esatto.
It was cool to have the experience of conversing in Italian with an Italian teacher in Italy. It built up my confidence about how much I've already learned. I even got to ask the teacher questions about how to plan my trip. It was super cool. If you'd like to learn a new language, I highly recommend Babbel, and you can get 60% off your subscription. Just click the link below or scan this QR code. Hello brains! I'm really excited about this episode because Dani Donovan put out an anti-planner. Dani is an incredible ADHD creator. You may have seen her TikToks, you may have seen her comics. She's a really good friend as well. And I'm just really excited to open up her anti-planner for the first time. I've been waiting over a year for it, I think, and I'm just really proud of her for getting this done, and I'm really excited to see what she did with it. 165 plus activities, strategies, comics, and games for the consistently inconsistent. Okay, I can't wait any longer. We're gonna open this. Yeah, how are your New Year's resolutions going? Dani's got you. Okay. The Anti-Planner is an activity book specifically designed to help procrastinators try unique, entertaining ways of completing tasks, untangle emotions that make it hard to get stuff done, smash through productivity roadblocks, learn how to light a fire under your butt, make boring tasks suck less, function when stuff hits the fan, curb perfectionism, reignite lost motivation, avoid overwhelm and burnout, make decisions faster. Ooh, are they still gonna be good decisions is the question. No boring repetitive spreads, no calendars or dates, no stupid cliche advice, no guilt. That is a big promise there, Dani. No empty pages, all right? No way to fail, even if you tried. I'm in. All right, let's see. I'm gonna open it. You can only do this once. Ooh. Holy, I can't believe I actually finished this. Let me start this off by saying one thing. Your worth is not measured in productivity. Did you read that? I feel like you may have skimmed over it kind of fast. I totally did. What did I just say? Your worth is not measured in productivity. Sounds fake. I wanna make sure this really sinks in. Your worth is not measured in productivity. I think that's a really important message because we live in a society where our worth is communicated to us based on our productivity. And so, yeah, therapy, Dani, right on page 1. There we go. That being said, this book will hopefully help you get stuff done because you want to, not because you're afraid you have to. You've got this. I believe in you. Love, Dani. How to take care of the thing. You, the thing. This book's about learning to deal with the thing. You know, the thing. We all have a thing, right? The thing. That nagging task you've been putting off forever. The one you avoid thinking about. The one you secretly hope it will go away on its own. Spoiler, it won't. You might be too intimidated to face it, too bored to care about it, or too exhausted to deal with it. And since you associate the thing with negative feelings, you avoid interacting with it. Oh, it's a wall of awful. But the thing is not your enemy. It's a neutral task just trying to get itself to done, and it can't get there without you. The journey together doesn't have to suck. You can turn boring stuff into games, find some company to join you, and celebrate small victories along the way. When you try new fun ways of getting to done, your relationship with the thing changes. You start to associate it with positive feelings of enjoyment and accomplishment instead of anxiety and dread, because you're headed in the same direction, facing the same obstacles, making the same journey. Might as well enjoy the trip. #2done. That is really sweet. I love that because that's exactly it. Like, so many of us have a negative association with the tasks that we're trying to do because we've failed at them before or because we have to do them. And it can be really easy to not only be anxious, but to start like resenting the thing that we have to do and hating it. I really love the personification of the thing as like, I want to get done. Like it's my purpose in life is to like be finished. How to use it. All right, grab a pencil. Identify which main emotion is making it hardest to take care of the thing. Flip to the tab for that section. Read the how are you feeling descriptions to discover what deeper emotion might be at the core of your productivity roadblock. Flip to that subsection and choose an activity you'd like to try and get started. You've got this. All right. So how am I feeling right now? I really like this. There are tabs you can flip to based on how you're feeling. So if you're feeling just unmotivated, that's very different from overwhelmed. Let's see how I'm doing right now. I am currently feeling a little disorganized. I feel a little scattered right now. So let's flip to that. There's a certain shame that comes from not being the organized person I want or others expect me to be, but I just can't get myself to do the consistent small tasks required to maintain an orderly life. My advice, forget trying to follow conventional organizing techniques for work for other people, but not you. Otherwise, you'll set yourself up to fail and likely kill your self-esteem in the process. Accurate. Okay, yes. 2, focus on creating a unique system that works with your existing behavior instead of against it, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. I am such a big fan of this. Don't try to use a system that requires you to work in a way that you do not work. It's gonna be a lot easier if you go with your natural tendencies. So if you naturally go to throw your coat on the nearest available surface when you walk in the door, make sure that the nearest available surface is a coat rack because that's working with your behavior as opposed to against it. 3, start paying attention to where you already end up dumping stuff. Yup. 4, let go of the idea you'll find one magic system that works for you forever. Accurate. Ooh, clean by numbers. Organize for a colored surprise. So this is an activity that you can color with. So if you fill out the blank spaces on the right with areas in your space you'd like to clean, pick a spot, clean that area. Once it's done, you've unlocked your first color. Clean your bedroom, fill in all the ones you see with red. Repeat this process with the other colors. You don't have to do them all in one day. After you've cleaned each of the 6 areas, you'll have colored in the whole picture. You unlock a new color every time you finish cleaning a room or area. What I like about this, like there's actually a lot of ones on the page and a lot of 2s, 3s, etc. So what I would probably do is I'd be like, I would need to break it down even further and I can do that. So I would actually color in a 1 every time like I put a cup away. I might clean the whole thing and then get to color in all the ones, but like this is one of those things you can break down as much as you want. So I'm like, I moved a cup, like I get to color a 1. These are really fun. All right, what else we got? And I'm feeling overwhelmed. Okay. Oh my gosh. Intimidated, overcommitted, panicked, and burned out. All right, I've been feeling that way with the book sometimes, like intimidated. Like I have so much to do, it's gonna take forever, there's so many steps, I'm afraid to even start. Dealing with the thing is gonna be a lot of work. When the project is huge and there's a ton of components, even the idea of starting on a task can be scary. Yeah, Pomodoro timers, that's something I use a lot. How to break down tasks, task breakdown batching, time estimation challenge, intimidation reframing. Ooh, all right, let's try that. Intimidation reframing, addressing the emotions behind your avoidance. What task is intimidating me? Ooh, I wanna fill it in. Why don't I wanna work on it? What emotions are making it difficult to start? And how could I reframe this feeling? Can I look at this in a different light? And you put your anxiety level. There's multiple. This might be one of my favorite exercises. Like, why don't I wanna work on it? And how can I reframe this? Cool, so let me go find a pen or something. Why don't I want to work on it? What emotions are making it difficult to start? I'm honestly, like, I'm afraid of getting something wrong because with a video, if I mess up, I could technically delete that video. But if I get something wrong in the book and it goes to print, I can't change that. Like if somebody criticizes it after it's out, I can't be like, oh yeah, like let me change that real quick. So I'm really intimidated by like the permanence of it. How could I reframe this feeling? So there's a couple things. Like one, I am working with a publisher, so if I get something wrong, somebody might catch it. I'm gonna run it by a lot of people, and then I've got an editor to help me, and they're probably gonna run it by legal as well. There's probably a lot of people who are gonna look at it before it goes out. But also, I hadn't thought about this. If I can't do anything about it, that means I can't do anything about it. Maybe I can let that go, because I'm sure that happens for like every author where, you know what, there's something I'd love to change and I can't, so I have to move on. It doesn't have to be perfect when I turn it in. Other people will look at it. There will be opportunities to correct something if I got something wrong. But why else don't I want to work on it? I don't want to work on it because honestly, it's like sometimes there's a lot of like self-doubt. I don't know everything about everything, and I'm tackling a lot of different topics in my book. I'm doing a chapter on sleep, and I'm doing a chapter on relationships, and there's still a lot that I struggle with. And so I think I want it to be better than I am capable of making it. And I guess that's like a little bit of perfectionism. So like self-doubt. There are a lot of times where I'm like, why did anybody let me write a book? I don't know what I'm doing. I think if you're doing something that's a little out of your wheelhouse where you don't know exactly what you're doing, then that's probably like the right level of challenge to be at. If I was doing something that I could do in my sleep, it would probably mean I'm not learning and growing. So the fact that I don't exactly know what I'm doing means I'm stretching myself, means I'm learning, means I'm growing, and it's preparing me to take on greater challenges in the future. I like this exercise. I feel so much better. All right, let's see what else. I'm a little stuck. Let's see. Perfectionistic. Yeah, this is related. I have unrealistically high expectations of myself. I'm wasting time obsessively tinkering. I'm afraid of criticism, mistakes, and mediocrity. I don't want to start unless I can do it 100% right. Set realistic expectations for yourself. Old expectation. What's the bare minimum? I love that there's space for you to put your own bare minimum, because I think the bare minimum for everybody is gonna be different. Like, what is your bare minimum? What's your minimum viable product, to use business lingo? Because sometimes if we can't hit the target that is our expectation, it's like we don't wanna do it at all. And so this is a bare minimum. It gives our perfectionism a new target to hit. It's one of the earliest strategies that I learned and I put on the channel. When I first started the channel, that bare minimum was I'm gonna post a video a week. And it can be as great and perfect as I can make it in a week, but I have to post a video a week. That is my bare minimum. That was better than the old expectation I had of like, oh, anything I put up, anything that I do has to be perfect. Perfectionism is the enemy of good. That is very true. So what is absolutely necessary? Like, your project can't be considered complete without these parts. And then the nice to haves are like, what can I add or fix later if I have time? I'm really guilty of this, of like, I will spend time perfecting a section of a chapter, or like perfecting a corner of my room. This is something that I think can be really nice, of going, okay, what do I actually need to do? Let me do the basics that are actually necessary to consider it complete first. And then if I have time, then I can go rearrange the bookcase. We can tend to overcomplicate things. This is really good. And you know what? And I'm done. And I think that's the beauty of this planner, is I just hit the point where my brain's like, okay, I learned some new strategies. I'm done with this now. And now I can go put it in a place where I can find it again and I can come back to it later. I love this so much. It's gorgeous. It's encouraging. It's like having like a buddy there next to you. That's really what it feels like, except like you get to choose what kind of advice they dispense. If you're watching this video right when it came out, this book is currently going to be available for the next round of pre-ordering, because it is so popular, it already sold out of its first round. And if you pre-order it, you will get a weekly PDF with one of the exercises every week in your email inbox until the book comes out, until you have the book in your hands. I'm really proud of Dani. I love the exercises. I think there's a lot of like really helpful stuff in here that I recommend giving it a shot. So that's Dani Donovan's Anti-Planner. I'm so proud. I will put the link in the description if you'd like to pre-order it or order it, or depending on when you watch this video, but check it out. You can also see a video that I did with Dani Donovan. You can check that out here. Like, subscribe, click all the things, and I will see you next video. Bye, brains. And don't forget to check out Babbel. You can click a link in the description or scan this QR code.